As you all know, the Indiana Fever totally destroyed the Chicago Sky on Saturday, and you would think the number one thing you'd be talking about after that game, after that amazing performance from Caitlin Clark, the triple-double, the amazing passes, the crazy shots, you'd think we would be talking about basketball. The number one thing you think we'd be investigating is how nobody else in the WNBA has ever done anything like Caitlin Clark is doing. We should be investigating the fact that Caitlin Clark's 4 threes in that game were more exciting than, like, if you go to 2022 and check out the top 10 plays of the WNBA season, her 4 threes in that game were more exciting than those 10 plays. Literally. Like, what she does in one game is single-handedly more exciting than anything we've ever seen in the WNBA. That's what we should be investigating. After that game, all the players who are in the WNBA, they should be looking at Caitlin Clark and being like, you know what? I'm inspired to up my game. I'm inspired to get better so that I can perform in the way that Caitlin Clark does, and I can captivate the audience's attention the way that Caitlin Clark does. That's what we should be investigating. But for some reason, what we are investigating is alleged racism in the crowd that didn't even happen. We're looking at a clip of Angel Reese at the free throw line shooting free throws, and they got the Flight Reacts dolphin laugh in the background, and people are saying it's monkey noises.
And then Chicago will maintain the basketball.
And what we're talking about, for some reason, is people on Twitter saying that being in the atmosphere of the Indiana Fever Chicago Sky game was like being at a KKK rally. And these people weren't even at the game. And all this Twitter stuff has reached the WNBA, and they posted an official statement. And people are getting on ESPN, and they're coming up with these crazy narratives to fit the situation that never even existed. They're feeding into this that we have no proof of. We know nothing of the things that allegedly happened at the game. Everybody that I've seen online that was at the game says that it was an amazing atmosphere. It's just like Indiana, any Indiana Fever atmosphere. Indiana is known for having an amazing basketball fan base. Look at the Pacers. Have you seen the crowd, dude? That crowd is crazy. It reminds me of Oracle Arena, and I'm a Dubs fan. I love the Pacers. I love Halliburton. I love all the fans. I'm a fan. I'm an Indiana guy. I love the Pacers. I love the Fever. I loved Indiana since Paul George days, since Oladipo days. Why are we acting like the fan base is racist now? How are we doing this? Why are we shifting the conversation? What we should be talking about is the fact that Caitlin Clark is box office. We should be talking about the fact that the WNBA is getting ratings that they've never seen before. Everybody should be focused on attempting to reach the level of Caitlin Clark, trying to mimic the way she plays. We should be studying the way she's playing, what's so exciting about it, what's causing people to tune in, and we need to try to get everybody in the WNBA and everybody coming into the WNBA to play this style of basketball. Because if you have more people who play that style, it's going to make the game more global. It's going to make the game reach a new height. The ceiling of the WNBA, I thought, was like, just being that trash league. I thought the WNBA was going to go bankrupt 2 years ago. I thought the WNBA just, eventually was just going to have to shut down because they were losing so much money. And I think they're still losing money, but at least right now they have a golden egg of hope. What we should be focused on is not all this random Twitter crap and talking about, what the activists are saying on Twitter and these people who are making fake narratives, fake videos. We shouldn't be focused on that. What we should be focused on is attempting to refine our product. Because what you have right now as a player who is far beyond the WNBA. Anybody with the basketball brain knows that Caitlin Clark, what she's doing on the court and the product that she's giving you is far beyond the likes of the WNBA. Like, she is too good for a league like this. Incompetent refs, players who are nowhere near her skill level. They're not attempting to play basketball at the level she is. You have players missing layups left and right. She has far outgrown this league. And so since you have a player of this caliber in your league who's willing to play in your league, she's great for the media, she's great for your league, you should be attempting to bring your league to the level of her and try to match her so that she can continue to grow. And as she grows, your league will grow. But no, we're feeding into this drama. We're feeding into this random crap online, dude. And it's just annoying. And everybody's walking on eggshells, trying not to say the wrong thing. It's so annoying. Over here, we like to talk about basketball. Convos with Carter, all of our convos are about basketball. What Caitlin Clark is doing is literally historical. I say it in all my videos. I say it multiple times in all of my videos. But the shot she hits, man, the shot she hits, she pulls it from the logo. I mean, the step back threes falling away, the crazy mid-range jump shots, the passes she throws, the passes are spectacular. Everything gets you on the edge of your seat. It's not just in the WNBA, it's in the NBA too. The style of basketball that a lot of the WNBA players play today, it's getting boring. It's getting boring in the NBA. The feeding it down to the big man post-up basketball It is outdated. Nobody in the NBA plays like that anymore. No fans want to watch that. Nobody wants to see that. We want to see you pull from 40. Steph Curry changed the game. He changed it not just for men's basketball players. He changed it for women's basketball players. I think the main problem in the W is that you don't see a lot of players who are pulling it from 40, who have the audacity to shoot it off the ISO, shoot crazy shots. Caitlin Clark does that, and that is captivating the attention of the new fans who are attracted to the new style of basketball that Steph Curry has brought to basketball. So you need to adjust if you're the WNBA. You finally have got a player who is with a new fan base, the new style, the new thing that is captivating the audience. And so everybody needs to follow suit. This is the method. It's not about her skin color. It's not about any of your political agenda. That's not why she's popular. The only reason Caitlin Clark is popular is because she is matching the new wave of basketball. That's my opinion. I just think she's matching what people like to see these days. You got a whole lot of players in the NBA who are not playing that way. Look at Jared McCain, the rookie who came in last year. Look at the shots he shoots. They're just like Steph Curry shots. Look at these new players that everybody's following. The Trae Youngs, the Luka Doncic, the James Harden, the Damian Lillards. And I know those are older players, but their games are, reminiscent of what Steph Curry has brought to the league. This is what people like to see these days. They want to see you pull from 40. They want to see you come off, a screen, do a step back. They want to see that. And then Caitlin Clark also was throwing these crazy passes, these crazy John Stockton, Magic Johnson passes, these white chocolate passes that are attracting the older generation as well. And so there are some older generation things that you need to keep. You don't just want to keep the new generation things. You need to have a good mixture of it all, and then you'll see your league prosper. That is what we need to be focused on. We need to focus on the basketball aspect of things. The WNBA needs to be studying how they can make the game more enjoyable. Maybe stop calling so many crazy fouls. Don't call flagrant ones on players for take fouls. And then what you also need to stop doing is allowing players to get mauled and not calling the foul. It's just bias, in my opinion. On one side is crazy, on the other side is crazy. It's like we're bipolar, but you need to just fix the refereeing. That is what we need to be focused on. All the higher ups in the WNBA need to be focused on how they can make their game more enjoyable. You look at Caitlin Clark, study her play. I know it's hurting your ego, it's hurting your ideology, it's hurting, everything you're trying to push, all the activist narrative that you're trying to spew out. I know it hurts, but I really need you to just focus on what she's doing. Focus on it. Think about it logically. Get your emotions out of the way. Look, the way she is playing is very attractive to the fans. We need to see more of this in the WNBA. We need to promote this. Your rules need to change a little bit. Maybe bend the rules. You've seen it in the NBA. It'll give you a better product. You need to stop having or allowing players to have so many hard fouls, coming down on players so hard and not allowing players to have space. No, give them space. Stop allowing the hand checking. We don't need the hand checking. Allow the players to get their shots up because that's what the fans want to see. Do you want to see the rankings stop tanking? Do you want to see more games like Caitlin Clark's games where everybody's tuning in? If you want to see that, you need to see more players play the style of basketball that is so attractive. I'm going to keep saying it because it's just the truth. We also need to start giving media attention to the players that are actually attractive. Why are we spending so much time focusing on players that nobody wants to watch? I get it. Something in your heart is saying that you want to give these players the same media attention that Caitlin Clark is getting, and you're calling it injustice or whatever, but it's not. You're taking it too deeply. You're getting too emotional. You're thinking about this way too deeply. All it is one player's exciting, the other player's not exciting. Those players need to be exciting, and if they are exciting, you give them all the media attention in the world. But since they're not exciting to the masses, then you need to give the media attention to the players that are actually exciting, and stop trying to shift the narrative. Stop trying to make it what it's not. All it is you have some players who aren't exciting, and you have some players who are exciting. I know it hurts your ego, but just focus on playing a style of basketball that is mimicked around what people like. That is all the WNBA has to do. I don't want to see any more drama from this league, dude. I'm tired of it. We always, every single time Caitlin Clark plays well, every single time, Caitlin Clark humbles Angel Reese, and then you see the whole argument just fall down and be crushed and stepped on and jumped on. Every single time we see that, people always try to shift it and make it about these off the court crazy topics. They try to make the conversation about things that have no weight. They carry no weight. People are making up stuff online. I saw people talking about Caitlin Clark and her wanting to get back in the game to get a triple-double, and then people came online and now they're saying, oh, Caitlin Clark is gambling on the games because there was a guy who made a big bet on Caitlin Clark having a triple-double in the game. And it's like, have you never watched Russell Westbrook play basketball? Have you never seen a player who wants to get a triple-double get back in the game just for the statistic? Caitlin Clark, I think, is third in triple-doubles in WNBA history. She hasn't even played 50 games yet. Like, she just wants a triple-double. She deserved a triple-double. She played amazing in that game. Why not give her a triple-double? She deserved it. Angel Reese was still in the game with like 5 minutes left, and they were down 30. Literally, she was still in the game. The other Sky players are still in the game, and I know they went to the bench after that, but they were still in the game when Caitlin Clark was on the bench. So why can't she come back in the game to get a triple-double? It's just one rebound. She nearly had one. Just give her one more rebound, and she gets a triple-double. Seriously. How is Caitlin Clark? For one, Caitlin Clark doesn't need any money. She doesn't need to be gambling on the games. I promise you, she doesn't need any money. She is the money. She is the cash cow of the WNBA. But how are you going to be able to predict the triple-double in that way if you're a player like Caitlin Clark? It's one thing if you're Jonte Porter and you're betting under on yourself, but you can't bet over on yourself. You can't like just make yourself go out there and play well. It actually takes skill, you know that. And you know it's going to depend on how the defense plays you and the certain looks you're going to get in the game. You can't just like bet over on yourself like that. It's easy to bet under on yourself, but you can't do it over. So all this conversation that's happening around the WNBA that's not focused on basketball, it's tiring. Let's just focus on the fact that Caitlin Clark's electric. Y'all can keep all of that for another time. There are a whole lot of issues going on in the world that you can, bring out all your, racism card and your misogyny card. We'll leave that for all that, and nobody here has to worry about it. But when we're talking about basketball, let's just focus on basketball. When we're talking about the WNBA, let's just focus on, the shooting the basketball into the hoop and the dribbling around the defenders and the crazy passes. If we focus on that, then I think it's really going to enhance the league. The conversation around the league is going to enhance the amount of people who want to watch it, because there's a lot of people who are just, not wanting to see all this. Nobody wants to hear about drama. Some people just don't like all of that, and people just want to watch basketball. They want to come home from work and watch the game and just be like, wow, that was crazy. Wow, like, just have a good time, order some food, have some good eats while you watch the game and talk to it with your homies like, wow, bro, like that was crazy. Like, nobody wants to talk about drama all the time. You're tanking the rankings by making all of this about things that don't actually matter. And I know this is a rant. It's a long rant, and I usually don't rant about things like this, but dude, it just irritated me. I do like to stay away from the drama, but only if I think it's not beneficial. A lot of the time, the drama is just not beneficial conversations. It doesn't actually matter, and it takes away from what we're actually seeing. But I think this is a beneficial conversation. I do think it is, and I think it's just the truth. The truth of the matter is you need to be focused on Caitlin Clark. Focus on what she's doing on the court. Man, unless you have some proof of some crazy things going on at these games, and we know there's not anything going on at these games, all the Indiana Fever fans are normal fans. You just love watching amazing, product on the court, just like people love watching Steph Curry. That's normal. Since that is the case, you don't need to be focused on any of this stuff off the court. And until you have a little bit of proof, don't cover it. Don't make statements about it. Don't go on ESPN get up and make just be quiet, dude, and just watch the game. It's so annoying, dude. This is all people talk about. And I can't blame people who are making videos on it, because obviously this is what the WNBA is giving us to talk about. It's an incompetent league. And there's a lot of media attention, coming to this league. There's a whole lot of new fans, and it's like, dude, it's just exhausting when you have a player who is so worth watching in a league that is just so crap, a league that just needs so much TLC, so much TLC. And they've been so bad for so long that they obviously don't know how to run a league. So we just need to see all of this stuff get fixed. I hope we get it fixed, because Caitlin Clark is creating careers out here for people. There are people who want to obviously, talk about the games and make their videos about the games like me. There's a whole lot of people doing it. And so you need a good product that we can talk about, a good product that is going to take care of its fans and take care of its players. But right now, you just got so many other things distracting the WNBA. So it's annoying, man. But that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did. More film breakdowns to come. I think the Indiana Fever play tomorrow, so that's going to be a great game. I don't think the Indiana Fever are going to have any problems with the Atlanta Dream, so we're just going to see probably another blowout. You're probably going to see that in most games for the Indiana Fever this year. You're probably just going to see like a bunch of blowouts. So that's going to be fun. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I certainly did, man. Peace out.